Hello, it's John Donnelly again. And this is the first of the videos dealing with the steps that you need to take when you arrive. And it's all done in 3 days. It's got to be. So this first one is about getting air cover. In my case, it's normally a chairman or somebody who has appointed me, or the directors. And a large part of that is you're going to do things very differently, not what they expect. You need them to know it. The reasons are these. These are not the things that you'd normally do. They won't work. They take too long, and by day 4, you've started to get sucked in and become part of the problem. So what you are going to do is going to be very different, and it obeys these strategic principles of Machiavelli. They know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And it's going to be tough. What you want from it is the total authority. With autonomy, you don't need to keep running back to them. And there's one particular point that I've learned the hard way, and that is that when certain things need to be done, you need to say to your client, your sponsor, whatever, do not take phone calls from these people. They'll put you in a difficult position, and the least that will happen will be delay. Let me get on with it. Now, one other very important reason, learn the hard way. One of the very first turnarounds that I did, I followed in 2 other people who'd failed. And the wonderful briefing there was, right, fix it, make it work, but don't rock the boat. That is a poison chalice. So again, here we have these bits. So this video is about getting air cover, and you're going to explain the other steps. The second of which will be another video, is about going undercover. And I'll give you a little sample of what's in each of those, but there is a video for each of them. I put moles in if it's a large organisation. Certainly test out a number of things. I then go and look for the best in the world, and to quote my wonderful pal, Sir Eric Peacock, I steal with pride, and let them know. Don't need to reinvent things that have been done before, perhaps in important sectors. And then the doorstep surprise. Okay, I'll give you a little bit on that one. So you've done all the bits, and it's the week before you arrive. They've now been told that you're coming. And you phone up 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, say, hello, it's John Donnelly. You probably know I'm your new chief executive with effect from Monday morning. What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, right, okay. And what time are you leaving your house? Good. Can I just check I've got your address right? Okay. I'm going to be outside your house waiting for you tomorrow morning then at 8 o'clock. And I'll be with you for about an hour, 2 hours. Don't prepare, don't rehearse. I want an informal conversation about what you want to do, stop doing and not do. Yes. Good, eh? Third video, your first meeting. It's your meeting. Do not call it a board meeting or a management meeting. You only want the people there that you want. The problem people, you'll leave till later and deal with them one-on-one. MMBQ stands for the most important thing there is you're going to ask much, much better questions. You've got all the things you need from the undercover. No, but motorboating, we can't do that. And JFDI nearly stands for just chuffing do it. That's what you want them leaving the meeting, right? They understand where they are. They now know they can't mess you about. Total authority, just do it, right? The little tip there, because it's your invitees and it's the first meeting, the first day normally, I have a uniformed security guard on the door. And if they're not invited, they don't get in. If they're late, they don't get in. They're given times later in the day or the following day. I did this in America, and this security guard who they booked only turned up with the sidearm, which I thought was taking us back to the original Machiavellian armed princes bit quite nicely. Okay, number 4. This is if you've got to get rid of people. The key thing is you want them to go and go now. You do not want them hanging about. So I'm going to deal with a bit more on this one, because you've got to make sure the people giving you air cover understand, so they need the justification. It's a vanishing carrot for them to go straight away, and a big stick if they don't or they create a problem. I'll take you through that a bit more in just a moment. The last of these steps, the last of these videos, is you want your own Praetorian Guard. Loyal, passionate and armed. And by armed I mean with your authority. They're prepared to take a knife in the back for you. Wonderful Machiavelli said, you have to guard your Praetorian Guard. So, we're still on Get Aircover, but I want to talk to you a little bit about Go Now, because you're going to need to spell this out for your client. The first one is, if someone's going, you probably already know who it's going to be. What will it cost to sack them straight away? And then, of course, you're immediately going to run into, but they've been here a long time, it's going to be too expensive, we should give them a fair crack. No, you wouldn't be being put in there if they hadn't have had a fair crack. Right? And the right-hand side there is an estimate of what it really is going to cost you if they stay. And in this video, show you how to calculate that, but most importantly, I've never seen the left to right-hand ratio being worse than 1 to 3. You've got to get rid of them now. Now, it's got to be now. So one of the things that gets in the way is, well, the lawyers have to talk and HR get involved and, what are the terms and all the rest of it. Now, you give them a pre-signed soft treaty. They can do more or less what they want as long as they go. Why? Because they're no bloody good. When their lawyers see this that day, you tell them to go and see the lawyer that day, they'll normally say, grab his hand off, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? And finally, should they decide to cut off rough, you don't actually show them the content of this, but they can see it upside down. It's the big stick list. The items marked in red, we believe, are messages of gross misconduct. The amber bits, major failures. And if you choose not to go or to make a problem or renege on the deal, we'll go to court. Most importantly, I'll go to court. And when I've seen how badly you've treated people, how good people have done like this, I'm angry with you. I will take these to the court, and by the time I've finished with you, you'll be looking to get a job selling peanuts from a barrow in Oxford Street. So these are the how-to videos. Those are the 3 things that we're obeying. Machiavelli, what must be done is not what ought to be done. You've seen that with A Vengeance already. You can see why I want that unquestioned authority for you from day one, and why you've got to get rid of the people, not put them on gardening leave. We've dealt now with that first video, Get Aircover. These are the others for you to enjoy. And this is it really. Cruelty light. 16th century strategies. The cruelty light comes from applying 21st century turnaround techniques. Judiciary friendly, if not necessarily ones that are going to win you friends with HR. So it's goodbye from him for now, and it's goodbye from me. Just before I go, it's not all about going into companies to turn them around. You'll be surprised to learn I've never been anywhere where there's been a red carpet out to welcome me, coming to fix it. Quite often now I'm talking to chief executives and saying, look, why don't you do some of these things yourself? You can see they're quite easy. And that's the sort of feedback I'm getting. It's tough subject, quite serious, but hey, there's a few people laughing there. And my favourite feedback was this from this very, very interesting chief executive at one of the banks.